because I moved in the way I did, I've come to a point now that my body's warmed up enough that it doesn't feel like a stretch to take the head on the knee. It's a mistake to stretch the spine and the hamstrings at the same time. A misconception that lay people have when they start to do stretching is that they see people who bring their head to the knee, people who are used to stretching, and seeing the head on the knee like this might make some people say, oh, they're doing a really good stretch. But in fact, for me, now that I'm warmed up, I'm not stretching, I'm just resting my head on my knee. And not only can my head comfortably touch my head to the knee, the same way that one might bend the elbow, no sense of stretching, just a movement. Also, my leg has enough strength that it can come to the head. It's not a stretch, it's a movement. It's all right to stretch the back of the leg, provided the spine is straight. But if you lengthen your spine, as I'm doing now, and have the back of the leg feeling like it's stretching, that's where danger comes in, and the spine can be at risk. So if it's first thing in the morning, for example, and I'm stiff, if I start to go forward and feel the back of the leg, I'll either keep my spine straight, or if I want to bend my spine, I'll also bend the legs. And that keeps the movement safe rather than potentially damaging lower back muscles, the structure of the spine itself, or the spinal nerves. Of course, you can get away with doing this if you harden the abdomen. If you harden the abdomen with the muscles of exhalation, so if I breathe in here, if you exhale gently and relaxed, as I've done there, with the abdomen still soft, the lungs are not fully empty. To exhale fully, you require to tighten the muscles of exhalation. These are circular muscles that go all around the bottom of the trunk. So if you see my fingers in my abdomen now, if I tighten my exhalation muscles, the spine, the trunk moves inwards away from my fingers. And so it's like I've wrapped a belt around my lower waist. This gives a certain amount of abdominal firmness and protects my back if I'm, say, doing a lifting exercise or a straining or stretching exercise. But the problem is, because I used my muscles of exhalation to tighten my abdomen, that straight away reciprocally relaxes or inhibits the main muscle of inhalation, which is the diaphragm. So it means then, with the diaphragm inhibited, there is an inhibition of the organs that the diaphragm helps to control and stimulate, including the reproductive system, immune system, digestive system. Also, with these belt muscles contracted and pulling the whole spine inwards, it blocks the flow of energy and information from the trunk to the legs. So then, to pump the blood to the legs, the heart has to work a lot harder. The lungs have to work a lot harder. So the movements that I'm trying to do should then not have to tighten all of these things if I want to stay calm. In the Hatha Yoga tradition of India, there's only one description of physical exercise. It's one sentence. It says, Sthira Sukham Asanam. It means physical exercise should be with firmness, but with calmness. It's learning how to do stressful things in a relaxing way. So to protect the back, I need to be firm. But to keep calm, diaphragmatic breathing and stimulation of the parasympathetic nervous system is important. The funny thing is, once you learn this, not only do you get to be protected, but it gives you tremendous strength. And so if someone is just tightening the abdomen like this, they cannot breathe from their diaphragm. So then what tends to happen is the chest expands. When the chest expands, it actually makes the body weaker. If the abdomen expands, it also makes the body weaker. So when you see adept practitioners of Eastern forms of exercise, including the Chinese martial arts or the Indian Hatha Yoga, there's also Indian martial arts and Chinese yoga as well, but they all relate. You never see adept practitioners expand their abdomen or their chest. And if you use the analogy of the balloon which a child blows up, as opposed to the tire of a car, when you blow a balloon up, it gets bigger, but the walls actually get thinner and less strong. Whereas you blow the tire of a car up, you put more air into the tire of a car, the walls don't get any larger, but actually the more air coming into a tire allows it to become much more strong. So you can actually put a 10-ton truck on a hard-walled tire filled with lots of air. But something which expands like a balloon will just burst if you put more air into it. So the chest and abdomen are the same. An in-breath, which expands the chest, will only make the spine weaker. An in-breath which expands the abdomen only makes you weaker. So in the martial arts, in Hatha Yoga, it's always said you should breathe diaphragmatically, but with firmness. So if I breathe diaphragmatically standing normally, abdomen puffs out. But if all I do is push the sitting bones forward, the front of the abdomen automatically goes firm and the sides are relaxed. Then if I breathe into the abdomen, it doesn't move. But because it's a diaphragmatic breath, I stay calm.